For number 17, we are given the function f of x is equal to 3x minus 1 all over 2. And this notation right here denotes the inverse of f. And we're trying to find out the value for the inverse of f when we plug in string there. And this is how I wanted to show you. We are going to first write an expression for the inverse of f, and then plug in string there, and then just do a computation. But before I do that, let me remind you guys one thing right here. When we see this notation, f with a negative 1, right? This is not the same as 1 over f, okay? Yes, when we have 5 to the negative 1, when we have a number raised to a power, this is 1 over whichever this number is. But then, when we have a function, you see this right here, 3x minus 1 over 2, it's a function, right? When we have a function and then you have a negative 1 right here, this does not mean you just do the reciprocal. You don't do the 1 over f, okay? For numbers, you do, but not for the function. And this is how we are going to get an expression for the inverse of f. This is the original function. First, let's write f of x as y, and then we have the 3x minus 1 all over 2. The most important part of the inverse of f is that, let me just indicate that the x and y get switched. And let me indicate that right here. For inverse, the x and y get switched. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. This is what we have, right, after we change f of x to be y. And you see, this is the most important part. We are going to switch the x to be y, and then the y to be x. So you see, this right here is the y, so now we will have x. And then the equal sign, of course, it will stay the same. The 3 will stay the same. And the x right here, it will become the y now. And we still have the minus 1 over 2. And then we are going to isolate this new y right here. That will be the inverse of f. So let's get to work. We see we have 3y minus 1 all over 2. Let's multiply by 2 on both sides. This way, this 2 and that 2 will cancel. And then we will have 2x equals to 3. And let me still keep the y in red because our eyes is focused on this y. 3y minus 1. Well, I want to isolate this y, so let's add 1 on both sides. So plus 1, this way they cancel, and that will give us, let me put down 3y right here, and I will put down a 2x plus 1 right here. I'm just switching the order, right? Bring this right here. 3 times y is equal to 2x plus 1. Of course, then we have to divide both sides by 3. So that this and that will cancel, and then we get the y by itself, and this is equal to 2x plus 1 all over 3, right? As we said, this is the inverse of f, and we can write this back as f with a negative 1 for the inverse notation, okay? And then this is equal to the 2x plus 1 all over 3. And then we have the expression now, and the question is asking us to plug in 3 into this x. And let's go ahead and do that. So we have f inverse, and then the inside is 3. And then just make sure we plug in 3 into this x as well. So we have this 2. Let me open a parentheses for that x. And then we plug in 3 in there. And then we add a 1. And this is all over 3. And let's work this out real quick. 2 times 3 is 6. And then plus 1 is 7. And then on the bottom we have the 3. So the answer to this will be 7 over 3. And that's answer choice E right here. That's it.
That's it.